So tell me if this sounds familiar. You're sitting in this spot right here, waiting for enemy players to peek this middle lane so you can get your long shots, and you think to yourself, wow, this kinda sucks. The gun camo grind in MW2 was widely praised as one of the game's strongest aspects upon release, and yeah, relative to past games, it made some good improvements. You can equip any camo onto any gun after you unlock it, they removed the need to unlock the same camos over and over again for every gun, and they streamlined the process of getting the mastery camos. These were all great changes, but nothing's perfect, except for Captain Price. And I still feel like despite some positive alterations, the camo grind can have a negative impact on the amount of fun you're having in-game, pushing you towards undesirable playstyles in order to work your way up to Orion. And I'm looking at you, Platinums, okay? You suck. Get out. F*** you. For a while now, the Call of Duty camo grind has represented somewhat of a fundamental misunderstanding of what progression models should look like in video games. And while I think that MW2's system is better in a lot of ways, there are still some improvements that can be made to make the grind that much more enjoyable in future games. Let's go. So a core tenet of my argument here is the idea that progression models in video games should always work to enhance your experience, and try to avoid pushing you into playstyles that you don't find fun. That's not to say that a game can't have any difficult challenges that require you to tweak your strategy here and there, but consistently forcing players into boring or otherwise uncomfortable playstyles for long stretches of grinding leads to disinterest and people giving up on the grind entirely. This is best exemplified by the long shot grind, where the most efficient strategy by far is to set up shop near the back of the map and camp, picking off stragglers slowly but surely until you get your platinum. You do this 25 times per gun, 51 times, and after hours and hours and hours, you finally get it. And after having been in the trenches of this bullshit for 30 plus hours now, I can say that it's done a fantastic job of burning me out on MW2. I don't want to just camp game after game. It's dull and monotonous, and as I sit there having a head glitch battle with somebody on the other team doing the same shit, all I can think about is how much more fun I would be having if I could just be running and gunning and screwing around. And I guess I could just try to get long shots more naturally, but it's really rare that you find yourself fighting people at a distance that would qualify you for a long shot kill when you're running and gunning. And worse, your opponent is probably going to be using a meta weapon that'll take a dump on your SO-14 battle rifle. And it's not just the long shots that can push you into annoying playstyles. How about the mounted kills one that also encourages slowing yourself to a halt and holding lines of sight? How about the kills from behind that basically just require getting lucky and sneaking behind enemy lines all game, even though enemy lines aren't really a thing due to the horrible spawns? How about this one that asks you to get 10 hipfire kills with a sniper? Like, what the fuck? And I can already see the comment section now. Everybody and their mom is gonna go down there and say, just play on shipment, bro. Call of Duty itself agrees, and outside of long shots obviously, it is true that shipment makes a lot of these challenges much easier to work through. But I don't think that having to play the shit out of a single claustrophobic clusterfuck map is an effective enough solution here. Shipment can be mindless and chaotic fun, but it doesn't feel like an option to excel the camo grind, it feels like a requirement at this point. And if you choose not to heavily utilize it, you're just dragging out the process 2 or 3 times over. And of course, these problems are all exacerbated by skill-based matchmaking. I'm not going to go super deep into this because I already did that in a full breakdown video that you can find in the corner of your screen right now, as well as linked in the description below. But one of the core issues created by SBMM is how players are funneled into slow and defensive playstyles. Prone kills, mounted kills, all that shit is going to be way more difficult in high-level SBMM lobbies where everyone is using the best ARs and SMGs. All squatted up with the boys with their FaZe Clan CDL skins and a UAV up at all times. The camo grind was clearly designed for a more relaxed matchmaking system where you're fighting against a variety of playstyles and skill levels. And the matchmaking systems in Call of Duty are pretty far from relaxed. And I could keep going. It hurts your stats, it slows down your overall level progression, and maybe most importantly, it can push players to ignore objective play entirely, which ends up hurting the experience for all of your teammates in a given match. I'll be sitting in the back racking up my mounted long shots while Soggy is going .50 KD with 3 minutes on the hardpoint, looking like that Popeyes employee after the chicken sandwich came out. Traditional COD multiplayer popularized the idea of individual dominance over team success, but progression systems shouldn't be incentivizing players to straight up ignore their win-loss ratio, especially when that mindset is negatively impacting other players in the match. To play devil's advocate here, a lot of these issues are kind of unsolvable when you're trying to implement a lengthy, challenge-based progression system. At some point, you're going to have to push players into playstyles that they may not be 100% comfortable in. The COD community is made up of millions of different players that enjoy playing in a lot of different ways, and you're not going to be able to please everyone. There's really only so much the devs can do here. But I do think that the Camo Grind would benefit from being made up of more generalized and approachable challenges. Getting kills for the first unlock and headshots for polyatomic is a good start, but let's go further. How about bringing back the getting kills without any attachments and a full 5 attachments from Modern Warfare 2019? That was a pretty reasonable one, and it would fit really naturally into the attachment unlock system that's already in place. I'm kind of surprised they took that out. How about a camo for just doing damage in general with a given weapon? That would eliminate the annoyance of pumping 6 bullets into an enemy and somehow getting an assist, and it would be a really organic goal that players could work towards without having to focus on playing in a specific way. And this is a big one. We need camos that reward objective play. We already have calling cards for offensive and defensive kills, why not gun camos too? It would incentivize playing the right way, playing for the win, and it would help to recenter Call of Duty's objective-based modes towards a more team-oriented feel. And I know that they'll never, ever do this, but they should really tone down SBMM in casual game modes. We have a ranked mode now, which outside of the rampant cheating has been a great re-addition to the franchise. We have our skill-based mode. Now is a better time than ever to lay off the casual playlist and make the Camo Grind a more relaxed experience. But, you know, I might as well be talking to a wall right now. That's never gonna happen. I feel like the Camo Grind is still designed to take the average player the entire life cycle of the game to complete, and it's fine that it takes a lot of hours and effort. I'm not advocating for this system to be dumbed down to a participation trophy, but I feel like it would be a lot less monotonous if more of these camos were achievable by just playing the game normally, and not forcing players into slow, camp-heavy playstyles. Back during the beta, I enjoyed the more tactical spin on the COD formula, but as the months have gone on and we've all spent so much time in MW2, it's become more clear than ever that 6v6 Call of Duty is at its best when it's embracing its arcade shooter origins. Fast-paced, straightforward, balls-to-the-wall fun. It's why Shipment and Shoot House and Close Quarters and 10v10 are so popular. And for those that want a more tactical feel, you got Ranked. Some of these camo challenges have just enforced this slower feel even further, and a lot of players have just given up on the grind and the game in general. And there's already so much to grind between the ranked ladder in MW2 and Warzone, the battle pass, the raids, the co-op stuff, the calling cards, and other cosmetics. We don't need the camo grind to take hundreds of hours on top of all that other stuff. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this isn't some terminal issue that's killing the game. I still think the Camo Grind, despite its flaws, is one of the more positive parts of COD's progression model. It's been a lot more satisfying to work through the mastery camos compared to, you know, like getting a fucking weapon charm from the battle pass or something. It just needs a few tweaks, and I hope that the devs turn their focus to more accessible challenges in MW3 and beyond. But what do you think of the Camo Grind in MW2? Did you rip through it in a week while you were off the G Fuel? Did you give up after you hit the long shot wall? Let me know in the comments below. And on your way down there, don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more FPS content like this. 1 like equals 1 less long shot you owe to Daddy Kotick. As always, thank you guys for watching. This is Yags, signing off.